everyone, welcome back to our channel Imaginary Engineering. This is Kirti. In this video, we are going to see how we can store the hash password in database. In our last video, we have created this endpoint, register and login. We store the username and password in database. Here we store the username and password, plain password we store. Now we will see how we can store the hash password in database. It's not a good practice to store the plain password. So first we will install all the required libraries. So I will stop this server for now, and first we will install the packages. So we need a package with install parsley password library and hashing algorithm. Here I am using this Argon2 hashing algorithm. We can use the Bcrypt also, but Argon2 is more secure than Bcrypt, and also it has no limitations like a 72 byte limitations we have in Bcrypt. So uh, I'm using this new more secure hashing algorithm Argon2. Requirement already satisfied. I have already installed, I guess. So now we will create inside the security folder. First I will close all these tab, and here we have this router folder schemas. I will close all folders and open this security folder. Under this security folder, I will create a file auth.py, and first we'll import crypt context from the parsley. So parsley.context import crypt context. Then we'll create an instance script context, and here we will pass the schemas. Schemas will pass the hashing algorithm we are using Argon. We can pass the other algorithms like also Bcrypt. Then we have the HS 256. So here we can pass the other algorithms also, but I will keep only Argon, then Argon2. Then second parameter deprecated will say auto, so it automatically upgrade the old algorithm to the new algorithm, which is the Argon2. So suppose in your database you store the hash using the old algorithm HS 256, and now it automatically upgraded it into the new algorithm, because here we say deprecated auto. And now we'll store this in one variable, let's say pwt context, and then we'll create the, then next we will define the method to generate a hash from the password. Let's call it password, hash password method name. Here we accept the password. Then I just return the hash password. This has the method hash, and here we will pass the password. It will convert our password into the hash password, and then we will return our hash password is method is ready. Next we will define the method to verify the password. We will compare the plain password and hash password. So let's name it verify password, and it will take up two things, plain password and we need a hash password. And it return the pwt context dot is the method verify. It will take up two things, plain password and hash password. It compared the this plain and hash password. If both are match, then it return the true, and if that both are doesn't match, then it will return the false. So it return the boolean value. So our hash password and verify password method are ready. So now I will go to the router, our user router, where we define our register and login endpoints. So while register, here we are storing the plain password. Now instead of passing these, before we store the data in database, we'll call our hash password method. So username, here we will pass as it is, user dot username, and password we'll call the hash password. To first we need to import that from the security folder. Security import auth. Now here in auth we have this hash password method, hash password, and it will take the plain password. So here we pass the user dot password, and this password then converted into the hash password. It returned the hash password, and we store it in this variable password. Now we store the hash password. First I will go to the Ruby. Now here we have the one user. I will delete that user and save the changes. Now there is a no user. And first we will start the server. We'll say uvcon src.min:app preload. Our server has started on port number 8000. Here, refresh the page. Now user register. Let's try it out. Username, I will say, let's say Kirti. Password 123, and click on execute. Here you can see username password, but it returned the hash password. This is the mistake, but first we will check the TP to get the hash password or not. Now here you can see the password. Here we store the hash password. So now it means it's working, but here we are return the new user. Instead of that, we return the hash password also. So we are not returning the password. We'll use return only ID and username. So you define your response model, but for now I'm just return the this new user.id, user.id, and then username, mm, new user dot password, and this username in double quote. Yeah, now it's working. So here we return the ID and username. Now login. Here we check if that user is exist or not. Here we are comparing the password, but now we are storing the hash password, so we don't need to compare these. Here we check if the username exists or not. If that username is not exist, then we'll raise the exception invalid credentials. So now here we'll check. If not verify, we will call the verify. We will call that verify password method. So auth, we have auth dot verify password method. Here we compare our plain password and hash password. So let me pass the plain password user dot, we get a plain password from the request body, and we get the hash password from this user exists. And if return colon is missing, and now if not, if it is false, if that hash password and plain password doesn't match, then we will raise the exception saying invalid credentials. Otherwise, we'll return the login successful. So here we are done. So let's go to our Swagger, and this is the login endpoint. And let me try it out. Username, I will enter the Kirti and password. Here I enter the password while registered 123 execute. Here it's a login successful, and if I enter the wrong password and execute, then it says invalid credentials, means it's working perfectly fine. So here in this video we have seen how we can store the hash password using the library FastAPI and Argon2 algorithm. We can use the bcrypt also, but bcrypt is kind of old. Argon2 is more secure. In next video we will see the JWT. So if you have learned something new from this video, then don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Imaginary Engineering. Thank you for watching.